Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give, and today I am bringing you a message, one that I feel is probably the most important lesson that any of us could absolutely learn throughout our lifetimes, because it makes the difference between living a freeing life where we fully feel in control and empowered in our lives and have true freedom versus being completely, lacking energy, not knowing who we are, knowing where we're going, being scared, being afraid, full of self-doubt, limiting ourselves. So this is a big one. All right. So today's message is all about when your internal world becomes more important than your external world, and then who you present yourself to be will match who you truly are. So that's a big long title, but ultimately it's all about authenticity. And it's all about being all of who you are without holding back, without worrying so much about what everybody else thinks. And in actual fact, who you present yourself to be in this external world is just, it's just an extension of who you are. And that's what I want to really dive into with you guys, because there ain't nothing more freeing than those moments in time, and ultimately you make those moments in time be your entire lifetime. So they're not just momentary moments of you being you, but in actual fact, they're just a huge, timeline of you being all of who you can be and all of who you're becoming. And so that's really what I want to dive into today, and how to actually do that, because so many of us, we have no idea how the hell we're going to do that, and myself included. And you guys know my story by now, in terms of, navigating, trying to turn down the voices and the judgments and the opinions in the external world down, so that my voice in my internal world becomes much louder, clearer, more powerful, and I trust that more than anything coming from the external. And I think as being a human being in this world, every single one of us has to navigate that to some degree. We might focus on different things in our external world and what we value from them, and really focusing on the different areas of life and what really we've made most important in our life, whether that be how seemingly spiritual we are, or seemingly intelligent and intellectual we are, or seemingly beautiful and healthy we are, or seemingly really all about others' emotional experience and bringing the family life together, say. They're the four different areas of intelligence that we're all guided by, and we tend to kind of focus on one or two, or mainly one, that we feel like we can be most successful in, and it's where we're really honed in on more times often than not, what other people think about us rather than what we think about us. And like I said, there is nothing more powerful to each and every human being than being able to get in full alignment with who you really are, make the shifts and changes so that who you really are inside matches who you really are in the external world. And I'm actually going through some cool processes right now, and I've done a lot of work around this sort of stuff, but there's always another layer, and that's what I love about personal development, is you never quite get there. And I kind of like that, because there's always another layer. There's always somewhere else to progress to grow to feel proud of yourself for breaking through and building higher levels of self-awareness. But currently, I'm going through a bunch of different questions that are from another Dr. Joe Dispenza book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I had it right here. It's this one. Oh, you can never see it. Never makes sense because it's always back to front. For whatever reason, Facebook Live switches the video. I think it's like this mirror effect, so it doesn't look weird because I have to see myself. But anyway, I'm currently going through the end of this book, which is answering a bunch of different questions that ultimately will set me up to win in meditation. And you guys who've been following me know that my other Dr. Joe Dispenza book, You Are the Placebo. Oh my gosh, I love this book. And I love this other one too, but not as much as the placebo one. But ultimately with the You Are the Placebo, you go straight into these meditations, and they're like 50 minutes or an hour, like just straight up. And I was blown away that I could stay that alert and intrigued and really following through on the processes. But his earlier book, The Breakthrough Experience, when you get to the meditative practices, he kind of breaks it down into the different sections, and it's really good, because part of what's missing in the placebo book is I feel like there wasn't enough preparation to do my own work. And I've had to actually think consciously, I need to actually get a bit clearer on this before I go into the meditation, and taken it upon myself to do that. Whereas actually now I'm learning in the Breakthrough, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself book, he sets it up that way, and he gives you these specific questions to answer, which I'm currently going through. A lot of it is stuff I've already covered before, but it's good to have it now in conjunction with a meditative process. And I'm going through these first 8 questions I've gone through this morning, and they're really all about, asking yourself, what kind of person have you been? And what kind of person are you really? And how would other people who are close to you kind of perceive you? What are the parts of you that you don't show to the world? All those sort of different questions. And they're pretty challenging to address because, even for me, who does a lot of work on this stuff, it's like, whoa, okay, like what's the next layer? And what is it that I don't show the world? And what is it that I hold back? And honestly, I already know this, that, who I am when I'm in different environments is different, right? Who I am when I'm with like my very closest friends, and family members, I'm actually more of a hard ass than you guys probably know me as. I know some of my 8-week group coaching empowerment people, you kind of have seen a taste of my hard assness, who can get pretty straight to the point and just cut through the BS. Mostly I present myself as who I feel most natural as, which is authentic and seeing the best and all those other things. But at the end of the day, you have to acknowledge that we are all things. We're not just all the great things and all the ways that we want the world to perceive us. We're also all these other things, and they don't have to be a bad thing. But when we don't acknowledge them and we just keep them kind of under lock and key, and we think, oh, they could be bad, we never actually realize that without them, we couldn't be all of who we are. And that means that we're judging a whole section, a whole half of who we really are. And it means that we're not being authentic. It means that we're wasting a lot of drained energy trying to show up and trying to mold this persona and this facade of who we want other people to see us as. And, instead of doing that, if we can, ultimately make our internal world matter more than our external world, that is when we can just acknowledge all those different parts of who we are. The light, the dark, the kind, the mean, every single part of every single trait that you and I both have as human beings. We are all of those things. And when we own that, we can therefore, relinquish the control and the wasted energy that trying to hold back parts of us has been doing, and we can fully, acknowledge and love all parts of who we are. And from that place, when our internal world matters more than our external world, because we're not trying to pretend to be somebody so that the external world, because that matters more, perceives us in the way that we want it to be. We own that fully. We own every single part of who we are. The parts that we might, have been judging in ourselves, we're owning those parts. So that it doesn't actually matter what anything or anyone in the external world really says or judges about that, because we're already owning it. And we don't care as much about their judgments and opinions as we do our own. And so that's the power of owning our internal world and making it much more important than the external world. And from that place, we can fully be all of who we are in the external world. And that to me is absolute freaking freedom. There ain't nothing more freeing than just being all of who you are in every moment, telling the truth, being you. You're not holding on to any of these concepts or ideas or lies that you've been telling, and you're actually just free to be all of who you are in every moment. And it's just like the world becomes your playground. When you make your internal world matter more than your external world, the external world just becomes an extension of you, your playground, your ability to express every single other part of who you are. And that is really living. You know, anything else is really just a facade, and you haven't really started to live your life until that internal world outweighs the value of the external world, and you can show up fully as all of who you are. So, I don't know, that kind of went around and around a little bit, but I hope that it was of value, me sharing that with you guys. And my hope is that you will get some sort of process involved in your life that allows you to sort of build up that strength and that internal wisdom. And I know for me, you know, that's my greatest thing that I'm always working on, is being able to navigate that balance between, you know, valuing and aligning fully with my highest inspiration, and also because everything that I do is to serve this mission, you know, that I'm on, and that you guys are my mission, you know. So I have to have that balance in terms of getting feedback from you guys as well, you know, knowing what is valuable to you, knowing what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how I can best support you, and you know, innovate different things that I'm presenting with you to make it even better so that it's even more valuable to you. But at the end of the day, where I found myself fall into a few traps has been when I've gone too much, like, oh, what do you want? You know, how can I make this better? How are you feeling about this? Blah, 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 blah. And then I lose track of what inspires me at the deepest level. And that's when I have to like go through this whole stage of like, oh, okay, hang on a minute. Like, okay, I value what you value, but I need to make sure that in order to be my highest self and to be of maximum value in this world, I have to make sure that I'm starting from the inside out, not the outside in, you know? And that's why a lot of the messages that I give to you guys are all about, you know, being cautious about, you know, really nurturing that inspiration and knowing who you're sharing things with so you don't get knocked off that inspired pathway because of some other person's judgments or opinions that, you know, they're just a reflection of themselves at you, you know. They don't believe in themselves enough to go down that path, or they've had bad experiences and they're trying to protect you, but it's not protecting you, or whatever else, or they're just, you know, threatened by that change that you want to make, and, you know, all the different myriad of reasons why other people might chop down your inspired visions. You know, that doesn't really matter about that. It matters that you are consciously aware about the whole process of building that muscle to be all of who you are, and valuing your internal world over the external world, and having it move from the inside out rather than the outside in, because you're not going to get fulfilled if you're just constantly seeking the external in. You have to go from the internal out and then utilize the power and the wisdom that the external world can give you and reflect back to you in your experiences, but then filter it always and constantly through your internal world about who you really are, what inspires you the most, and never the other way round. But it takes some work and it takes some effort, particularly for all of you extroverts like me out there who, you know, the external world feels like the real world to us. You know, you introverts kind of have a little leg up, you know, because the internal world is already a bit more real to you, you know, and so, but it's all about balance. We have to have that balance, but making sure internal to external. I've done a lot of talking. I really want to jump in and check in with you guys. Say hi to me. Have you got any questions or comments, or have you got any words of wisdom that you want to share with us all today? I would absolutely love to hear from you guys. So who have I got? I've got Rob and Judy and Victoria, and Huss is here. I love it. And Sam, yay. And Haru and Diane, hello to you, my friend. And Brady, hello to you. And Tahir and Sam, thank you so much as always for your compliments. And hello Victoria, and Alexandra is here, yay, and Vanessa's here, yay, you just joined to the masterclasses, Vanessa. I was so grateful to see your name pop up, and I love having you on the team, and I can't wait to hopefully have you live for the next Limitless Potential Academy monthly masterclass happening on Thursday. Oh my God, so excited. And yay, my spirit sister Alexandria. And Gary's here, and Huss, Kelly friend here, tuning in to One Awesome Aussie. Oh, so much love for you, Huss. You guys in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle this morning were absolutely making me miss you guys so much. The love that you share with one another, just how many friends you've connected with and built, and I just absolutely call you guys my friends. I'm so honored to have crossed paths with each and every one of you guys. You light my days up, and I absolutely can't wait till we meet in the flesh. And Emma's here, and Bobby, and Sam. Yes, amplify internal world to silence external. I love how you just put that, Sam. Abso-freaking-lutely. Amplify the internal world to silence the external. Absolutely. You know, go to the external as once you've got that strength and that clarity and that direction, then venture into the external. Start with, you know, sources that you really trust, you know, and get some kind of feedback and get some tweaking and learn from people that you know, like, and trust, and who have got great results that you want. And then come back into the internal and make that the more real world that you're directing your life from. Absolutely. I love that, Sam. And Sanula, yay. And Alexandra, yes, breaking the habit of being yourself is amazing. Absolutely. I love that you and the amazing Charles have been through that work. And yeah, I'm loving it. I've just, yeah, like I said, I've gotten to the back end of it now. And my next one is going to be this one. Can you tell that I get obsessed? Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I hate how it's always back to front, but that's my next one. And I'm going through all the processes and tweaking them, and you know, guys, what I'm like by now. So I love that, Alexandria. We'll have to have a chat about it. And Lorraine is here, and Huss. I like that about personal development too. There's always a deeper level to go to, and I love how the more I learn, the more I discover there is so much more to learn. Absolutely, Huss, and that's what I love as well. There's always another rabbit hole, another way to go, and nothing energizes me more than taking things to a whole new level, to have my current belief systems just exploded and blown apart and learn something totally new that I've never yet, it's never yet crossed my mind. That is why I'm just loving the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. It is, to me, it's next level for me right now, and I can't wait. Once I've gotten through these books, going through a couple of his courses and programs and live events and all sorts of stuff. So yes, I can't wait to share more with you guys. And I love that, Haas. Thanks so much for sharing. And Sam, yes, the 4 intelligence were icebreaker to my empowerment of internal world breakthrough into limitless potential. I love that, Sam. I'm so impressed by you, and I love that you're such a learner, and I'm grateful that me introducing you guys to, those 4 intelligences and kind of breaking it up and making it like an easy to understand system has given you that level of self-awareness, and you're such an action taker and a superstar. So good work to you, Sam. And Suzanne's here. And Sam, you inspire me so much by your hunger and passion for growth. Thank you, Sam. I so appreciate you, and I can reflect that straight back at you, because you too have such a hunger and passion for learning, and that's why I think we connect so well. I love it. And Alexandria, contrast provides meaning and acceptance, all of who we are, and then we can offer more grace to others. Yes, absolutely. You've got to have that contrast. You've got to have, the light and the dark. Without the dark, you wouldn't experience the light. You wouldn't have that contrast. You wouldn't know. It's the same thing with, happiness and sadness. One is not good or bad. They give contrast, meaning, perspective to life. And that is why it's so amazing. I completely agree. And absolutely, the more we own of who we are and we drop the judgment, we own all those scary parts, those dark parts that we don't want to go to, the more we can show up and be all of who we are, and absolutely the more grace that we can offer to others. Like you said, beautiful spirit sister. I love it. And George is here, and Sam. Yes, your hard-assness is a turn-on for facing our limitations and freeing ourselves into empowerment of limitless potential and growth. Absolutely. And, to me, that's a part of me that, I don't show everybody all at once at least, but definitely if you work with me, or if you're a close person in my life, a friend or a family member, you absolutely get the hard assness. And to me, that's kind of a measure of how close I feel to you is how hard assy I can get with you. You know, to me, it's really important to have that directness. Not just have to be the niceties or tiptoe or walk on eggshells and, you know, be worried about how people are going to take things. To me, the greatest connector is that ability to just go straight down the line without the niceties, with just truth, you know, because to me, that ability to go that deep and kind of hard-assy is I can go there because I know you trust me. I know that you trust that my intention is absolutely pure and gold, and I see your potential, and this is just one tool of calling it out, you know, I don't hold back in that realm when I know you trust me and you know that my intention is pure. And that, to me, when you can get to that level of connection with any human being, that to me is freedom. That's depth of connection. That is truth. That is realness. You know, when you got to tiptoe around people's feelings, you know, and you got to worry about whether they trust that you're coming from the wrong place. Oh, that is so draining. So draining. So I love that, Sam. Thank you so much, my friend. And Laura's here, and Corinne, and James, and Lee, and Austin. Awesome to see you guys, and Huss. I think we can get hung up on trying to see ourselves through hundreds of sets of external eyes instead of looking within and accepting all that we are without judgment or concern of others' perceptions. Great reminder to stay grounded in our own truth and higher self. Boom. I love always when you share your words of wisdom with us all, Huss. You're a superstar, and I could not agree more. And I love how you put that. You know, we get so hung up on trying to see ourselves through hundreds of sets of external eyes rather than just our own. I love that, Huss. It is so much more freeing when you just have your life guided by your internal world, who you really know that you can become and step more fully into, and own every single part. Own every experience that you've ever had, you know, and just, you know, the more you can own and the more you can step fully into it and love yourself and accept yourself no matter what. Oh, do you become a magnet for extraordinary people around you as well? Because everybody wants to be around that kind of energy. You know, we all want that and crave that and yearn for that. And that is why authenticity is so sexy, you know, because we all want that, you know, and we can all tell it, you know, we all have an external BS barometer, you know, that's like, oh, is that person being real or fake or what? And we're attracted to that authenticity because that's what we all ultimately want to be more of. That's what we want. So I love that, Haas. Thanks so much for sharing. And Sam, what works for me is when you stand in your authentic truth and empowerment and bring out your inspiration and internal wisdom unapologetically. Absolutely, Sam. Thank you. And that totally works for me as well. And imagine a world where we all stepped into that. Imagine a world when every single one of us stood fully in our true authentic selves, in true empowerment, and brought our inspiration and internal wisdom unapologetically, like you said. What a beautiful vision. One in which I've thought about multiple times. So I love that you're reflecting that, Sam. Thanks so much. And Alexandra, always and forever grateful for your care, guidance, and wisdom. The world is our classroom to learn, grow, teach, connecting us all. I love that, my cheeky monkey. I love that, Alexandria, and I couldn't agree more. And I'm so grateful for those such kind and beautiful words. You guys always rock my world and light me up. And absolutely, our world is the classroom. And I love that you guys are such, you know, you're so dedicated to your learning and your growth. It's so beautiful and inspiring to me. So I love that, Alexandria. And Jolene's here. And Roxana's in the house. Yay. I've got almost the whole team's coming in. I love it. And Huss, woohoo, go introverts. All joking. There's pros and cons with both. You got it. Exactly. And that's the ultimate name of the game. Like, we don't want to just be one way or the other. We don't want to be in this box or that box. We want to be able to, you know, merge between the two and pick between the two as it's going to serve us most in that moment. That's emotional intelligence. So, and I know you know that. I love that, Haas. And Dwan, thank you for for being you and sharing your wisdom. Oh, you are so kind, and throwing that right back at you, Dwan. And I love that you're here, and I'm so grateful that you find value and you keep showing up. That absolutely touches my heart. Thank you, Dwan. And Roxana, I'm loving the book. You Are the Placebo. Thanks, V. Yay. Oh, I was just like, oh, you know how excited I was, Roxana, to share that with you, because I know how much value you're going to get from it. I know how much value every single human being is going to get from it. And I love that you're such an action taker. Oh, you light up my world. I love it. Thanks, Roxana. And Dawn, oh my gosh, I'm loving you guys are all in the house. I love it. So good to see you, beautiful. And Sam, I love your rabbit holes and how you fill them up. I love a bit of rabbit hole action, as you know, Sam. You know me too well. And Melissa's here. And Victoria, yay. Seems like this goes with your teaching on loving unconditionally. Yes, absolutely. Because if you can't love all of who you are, don't expect to love any other human being for all of who they are. We are an absolute mirror. We're an absolute open book. Everything, every way that we treat another is ultimately how we're treating ourselves from within. And so if you want to get to that place of loving unconditionally, which is, well, I'm not saying I'm there, but definitely it is something that I'm constantly working toward, and I've come miles from where I used to be. I got miles to go, obviously, but ultimately that all stems from relationship with self. You know, whatever we judge in another, use it as your pathway forward to understand what you're judging within you. Because you are literally treating everybody else the same way that you treat yourself. And when people come into our world and trigger us in different ways, they are giving us such a gift to know and have a reflection as to how we're judging and criticizing ourselves. So that's the work that we need to do. And those beautiful individuals who, you know, might piss us off or trigger us in the moment in the external world, utilize that to go reflect back into your internal world and have that pathway for growth. I love that, Victoria. Absolutely. And Richard's here as well. Hello to you, my friend. And Dawn, I'm here but just got on, so I had to listen to the replay. Hey to everybody. I love it. Love having you here, beautiful. And Sam, the first time I listened to you, I fell in love with your beautiful voice and trusted and believed in you from the word go. No regrets, but bounties of love and joy, as your magnet and genius fascinates and surprises me every moment. Sam, you're blowing me away with such kindness, and I'm always grateful for your kind words and reflecting that back to me. And I'm always so surprised when people say that I have a beautiful voice, because I'm always thinking my Aussie accent is gonna like be a bit weird for a lot of people. But I love that, Sam. Thank you so much. And I totally receive that with such gratitude and appreciation for all of who you are, my friend. So grateful for you. And yeah, saying hi to Dawn, my team. I love it. And Vina, happy to see you. Thank you. So happy to see you as always, Vina. Thanks for showing up again, and hope this message has served you. And Dawn, shit, I hate when that happens. You are such a crack up. Can't wait to reconnect again on Thursday, beautiful. And John is here as well. John and anybody else just joining me now, I really hope that you catch the recording and get a ton of value from today's message, because I'm just about to sign off. But I hope that today's message has reminded you that, you know, when your internal world becomes more important than your external world, who you present yourself to be will match who you truly are. And that, my friends, is absolute freedom. Nothing more freeing than that, being in total alignment with the true, authentic self. And Sam, so beautiful to have 5 graduates of the 8-week empowerment supporting you. Absolutely. I love you guys. You guys rock my world. You're my total inspiration. Thank you so much for showing up. I feel like I got reconnected with a bit of my team here. And Huss, nothing wrong at all with your Aussie accent. Don't give it a second thought. No, absolutely not. Because I'm coming from the internal to the external, but I value your external feedback, my friends. So much love, and as always, I am sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you, to wherever you are in the world today. I hope that it's absolutely a beautiful, amazing, extraordinary, empowering day, and I'm just about to get the sun coming in and smashing me, so good time to sign off, but I hope that today's message has absolutely served you, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Much love.